Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. All right, it's time for another Hallmark Christmas movie. All right, The Holiday Sitter is out December 11th, and it follows Sam, a workaholic and bachelor, who heads home to babysit his niece and nephew before the holidays. And guess what? There is a handsome neighbor next door that comes to help. And then there is a romance that blossoms. I'm so excited. Sam is, of course, played by, I'm just gonna say it, the king of gay Christmas, Jonathan Bennett. I love it. How are you?
Oh, I love that title. Like, I think I'm gonna change that on my Instagram right now. Jonathan Bennett, the king of gay Christmas. I'll take it.
I love it. Well, congrats on this film. I mean, you're at least third, I think, Hallmark holiday film that's inclusive, but this one is so exciting because this is an LGBTQ-led storyline, which means you are the main character, you're the center storyline. It's not just, the friend or the supporting story, which I love. But I know that you're super excited about this one, and it's almost here, December 11th, everyone. So tell me, Jonathan, why this one is especially so cool for you.
There's so many reasons why I absolutely just love this movie. I'm obsessed with it. Well, for starters, like, I got to executive produce and kind of create this story from the ground up. So I wrote the story, I executive produce it, and I get to star in it. So already that's just such a amazing, cool, magical thing that we get to do. Like, so lucky to get to do that with Hallmark Channel. And so there's just an excitement around this movie, I think, because it is a gay-led story. So I feel so passionate about telling this story. And I think this movie has so much heart in it, and it has so much humor. And I think the characters, you really root for them to be together. Like, there's a specialness to this movie, and we could feel it when we were on set filming it, because we had an entirely queer creative team, which was absolutely so awesome. We had queer producers, directors, writers, actors. And so we just got to really tell this story, and it meant so much to us while we were making it. And then now that we've seen the movie, it's even 10,000 times better than I even thought it was going to be. So there's just something special about this one, and I can't explain it. You have to see to understand it.
What was it like when you did see it? Because it's so funny. I would imagine, I'm not an actor, but it's like when you're in it making something, you're probably thinking it's one thing. And then when you see the actual finished product, which is so good, I've seen it, everyone. What was that like for you?
It exceeded my expectations of what, on set, I knew what we were filming was special and magical, and I was like, oh, this is funny. Oh, this has a lot of heart. Oh, this is great. And then when I saw the takes back, and when they edited everything together with the music, it was like I was literally throwing stuff at the screen, because I was like, yes! Like, whenever we have something, when it just all comes together and it all gels, I get so excited. And so as a producer, like, on set, I'm off camera, like when I'm not in the scene and I'm producing it at Video Village, I'm yelling at the monitor like, yes, right there, take that. So maybe I should be a director one day, because I feel like that's what I love doing, and bringing these stories together. But it was really cool to see it all come together with the music, and all the moments that you hoped were going to happen when you were filming them are all in the movie. And so they all work. And that's like the best reward as a producer and a story writer and an actor, is when it all comes together and it all works and it all clicks. Yeah. It's the best feeling in the world.
So your character, like I said, is workaholic. I would say a little neurotic, a little over the top. Any sort of...
Well, like me, I'm very subtle.
I was watching this and I was like, there's definitely, but I have to tell you, I was like, it kind of reminded me of, like, how Diane Keaton's always like that neurotic, like so cool, over the top, like, personality that's like trying to accomplish 10 things and has all these obstacles. I was like, this is kind of the vibe, which is, I think, great.
Nail on the head. That's what I was going for. So I'm glad that came across.
I love that. I mean, also, I would imagine there were some, your own personal, ways that you injected into this character.
Yeah, because so my character Sam plays this workaholic, eternal bachelor living in New York City, and his sister and her husband are adopting a new baby, and the birth mother goes into labor right before the holidays. And so Sam is the last person on the list that they want to call to come and watch the children because like, can we think of anybody else? And there's no one else, so Sam gets roped into going home. Now, Sam hasn't seen his niece and nephew in years. And so when he comes home and has to take care of kids, he knows nothing about taking care of children. And I think for me, I love the classic comedies. I was inspired by this movie by Uncle Buck. I thought Uncle Buck was one of my favorite movies growing up. So we kind of like took a twist on that story in a way of like rooted it in like what I loved about that movie. But he comes home and has to take care of the kids, and it's just classic fish out of water. And I love a fish out of water story because I think the comedy just lends itself to so many things. And so having to take care of his niece and nephew, I actually got inspired by this movie on a movie I shot called Christmas Made to Order for Hallmark Channel years ago. I was with Alexa Penavega, and we were in a house in Utah filming, and the family that lived in the house had 4 kids, and they would come to set every day, and I was kind of ended up becoming like this like birthday party clown that was just trying to like entertain these kids and do anything I could to like entertain them on set. And that's kind of where the first original idea for this came, because they're like, you're really funny with kids because you don't know what to do, and they know you don't know what to do, so they like take advantage of you and try to get one over on you. Because I'm like, can it have chocolate for breakfast? I think, yeah, here. And I'm just like giving them stuff. So that's kind of where the first nugget of this idea came from.
And this is not the first, like you said, you have a long history with Hallmark. They're doing great stuff. Not the first time that your character has been involved with children. So I have to know, does this kind of constant, acting with kids give you and James any sort of baby fever thoughts of kids of your own? I know you have dogs, I love that too.
Speaking of children, yes, this is our baby Brad.
Yes.
Lay down, buddy. He's so mad at me because I just picked him up and he was sleeping.
He's like, how dare you disturb me?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It does give me a little bit of baby fever. It's and I don't know if it's necessarily baby fever or it's just like 5-year-old to 10-year-old fever. Like I love that age, because that's what I love. I love being around that age because it's just so fun to hang out with these kids. And I found like, in our movie, there's a straight couple, my sister and her husband, who are adopting a baby. And, Jason, who plays my love interest, he's wanting to start his own family just on his own and adopt a baby. So it really kind of brings it back to the whole chosen family, which is what this movie's based in, right? Like it's based in the idea of chosen family, like gay, straight, whatever you are, there is a way to create the family that you want, because chosen families are just as strong and powerful. Like it's a powerful family to have. And I think doing all these movies with kids of this age, I like say to James, I'm like, I think when it's time, I might want to adopt like an older kid. Like I feel like my heart's like going that way. So who knows? We'll see. We don't know we don't know what's going to happen in the future because our schedules are so crazy. So we're trying to figure out what the right timing is. But yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, you can do that. You can have any family look the way any way you want it to be. And of course, I mean, that's what this is all about, because I think with, Hallmark and this amazing commitment to being more inclusive, more progressive when it comes to showing family, I think they're doing such a great job. And, you've been a part of the Hallmark family for a long time, and then to now be on this journey with them, making LGBTQ inclusive projects, for the holidays and beyond. I mean, that must feel so special for you.
It's beyond words. Hallmark Channel, when I brought this movie idea to them, and with all the work we've been doing with the Christmas House 1, the Christmas House 2, we got nominated for GLAAD awards for each one, which was amazing. And our jackets and our script and a set piece from the Christmas House 1 is now in the LGBTQ plus archives at the Smithsonian as part of history, which was so cool. But then to do the holiday sitter with Hallmark Channel and really work with them creatively on the whole process, what they've done is they've created a safe place for queer filmmakers to tell stories. And there is no as an artist, a queer artist, there is no better gift in the industry than a safe place to tell your stories. And that's what Hallmark Channel has done for me and for so many queer filmmakers. And so to just see this network just embrace and put such a commitment on inclusivity and telling these stories, they're so committed to doing it, and they've walked the walk, they've talked the talk, and they've really put these stories first, and it's just amazing to be a part of it. It's just, there's no better thing to have than a safe place to tell your story when you're a queer actor. It's something that people just really dream to have, and we have it here at Hallmark Channel. So
I'm so happy to hear that. And and I would imagine that when someone like Candace Cameron Bure says, building off of what you just said, when she says, I only want to make stories that are about traditional families. Obviously, Candace previously had a long history with Hallmark, now is doing her own thing at Great American Family. I would imagine that probably hurt you and probably hit pretty, close to home with everything that you're trying to do at Hallmark.
Well, I can't speak to what other people are doing on other networks, but I can speak to what we're doing at Hallmark Channel and what Hallmark Channel has done such a great job of. And it's, like I said, creating a safe place for queer artists to tell stories. And in that, you have to think of the entire process, right? Our people on set, our crew that works countless hours, 16-hour days, it's not just me and George on camera that tell this queer story. It is everyone on set, from behind the scenes to producers to directors to art department, wardrobe, hair, makeup, grips, lighting, craft service. The list goes on of the amount of people it takes to make one of these movies. And in that giant crew and family of people are LGBTQ plus members of the community. And so for us at Hallmark to create such a safe place and to create movies that let the people that watch them and the people that work on them know that, hey, this movie and this network and these families we're creating at this network are for you. We want you to feel like you have a seat at the holiday table. And that's exactly what Hallmark Channel has done, is they've made sure that everyone that watches feels like they have a seat at the table. And I think that's really the reason we do these movies, is to let people see themselves on screen and to see their families and what their love looks like portrayed in a movie.
That's what it's all about. I mean, that's the opportunity with Hallmark, because it reaches such a wide audience. What do you hope for anyone that, might just be flipping through the channels looking for some feel-good Hallmark holiday movies? They stumble across this one. Might be, the first time they've seen a movie like this. What do you hope that they take away from it?
Well, what I love so much about The Holiday Sitter is that we didn't set out to make a gay movie. Mm-hmm. We set out to make a beautiful rom-com that was filled with heart and was filled with a ton of humor. And we even added the tropes that people have come to love and expect from watching rom-com Christmas movies, even Hallmark rom-com Christmas movies. So we put everything in there that people expect and know and love about Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. We just changed one of the characters to a guy. That's all we've done. And so this movie isn't a movie just for the LGBTQ plus community. The Holiday Sitter is a movie for everybody, just like Hallmark Channel's for everybody and Christmas is for everybody. So, it's funny because people say, oh, this is a queer movie, or we talk about other movies that have come out and they're like, oh, that's a gay movie. And I'm like, well, The Holiday Sitter is not a gay movie. It's just a movie that happens to have two men as the lead. And when people watch it, I think they're going to take away from it seeing what it looks like to have two men fall in love and really kind of work through some of these emotional feelings they have about the holidays together on camera. That's all our movie's about. And in that comes a ton of heart, and in that comes a ton of humor.
So much humor, so much heart, all the feels. I know you said that you would love to do a holiday film with Lindsay Lohan because I know she's obviously doing her thing.
Yeah.
What would can you imagine it? Because, you know, like you said, if you might be a director, what would the scenario be for you and Linz to come back together and do a holiday film? You know, we'll just put it out into next year.
Okay. Well, you know, I was literally DM'd her this morning to tell her because I finished watching her movie and it's fantastic. If you haven't seen Lindsay's movie, go watch it. It's really, really, really good. She's doing what she does best, which is romantic comedies and being charming and hilarious on camera. That's just what she was born to. And if I did a movie with Lindsay for Christmas, I want to very badly. I think what we should do is kind of change what everyone has seen us do. Everyone's seen us fall in love, right? Like we've done that already. So what do we do that's different than that, or bigger, better, different? And maybe we're brother and sister. Maybe it's some type of dysfunctional family holiday and the two of us are brother and sister in it, or we're like best friends, you know, like something I would want to do something that's different than what people have already seen us do, because you're not going to top Aaron and Katie falling in love. Like we can't fall in love anymore because we've done it and it was amazing. So let's try to do something different.
I want to see you like as like frenemies, like competing against each other in some sort of like business thing. I don't know. I could see something like that happen. That would be so fun.
Fight or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jonathan, congrats again. We're so excited that you are part of Hallmark making really great, just great in general, but also inclusive films for our community. This one, of course, is coming out December 11th. It is called The Holiday Sitter. You will laugh, you will cry, probably, maybe a little tear, but you'll feel all the feels. But yes, make sure to tune in on that December 11th. And Jonathan, so good to see you. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays. And I just want to tell everyone that's watching it, or that's watching this right now, please, please watch The Holiday Sitter, because the support from the LGBTQ plus community is really means a lot. And it also is something we really need for this movie. So thank you for tuning in and watching it on Hallmark Channel on December 11th.